In Calvary, the persons of the play are 3 musicians, their faces made up to resemble masks. Christ, wearing a mask, Lazarus wearing a mask, Judas wearing a mask, and 3 Roman soldiers, their faces masked or made up to resemble masks. At the beginning of the play, the first musician comes to the front of the bare place, round 3 sides of which the audience are seated, with a folded cloth hanging from his joined hands. 2 other musicians come, as in the preceding play, one from either side, and unfold the cloth so that it shuts out the stage, and then fold it again, singing and moving rhythmically. They do the same at the end of the play, which enables the players to leave the stage unseen. Song for the folding and unfolding of the cloth. First musician. Motionless. Under the moonbeam, up to his feathers in the stream. Although fish leap, the white heron shivers in a dumbfounded dream. Second musician. God has not died for the white heron. Third musician. Although half-famished, he'll not dare dip or do anything but stare upon the glowing image of a heron that now is lost and now is there. Second musician. God has not died for the white heron. First musician. But that the full is shortly gone, and after that is crescent moon. It's certain that the moon-crazed heron would be but fish's diet soon. Second musician. God has not died for the white heron. The 3 musicians are now seated by the drum, flute, and zither at the back of the stage. First musician. The road to Calvary, and I beside it upon an ancient stone. Good Friday's come, the day whereupon Christ dreams his passion through. He climbs up hither, but as a dreamer climbs. The cross that but exists because he dreams it shortens his breath and wears away his strength. And now he stands amid a mocking crowd, heavily breathing. A player with the mask of Christ and carrying a cross has entered and now stands upon the cross. First musician. Those that are behind climb on the shoulders of the men in front to shout their mockery. Work a miracle, cries one. And save yourself, another cries. Calling your father now before your bones have been picked bare by the great desert bird, another cries. Call out with a loud voice and tell him that his son is cast away amid the mockery of his enemies. Singing, oh, but the mocker's cry makes my heart afraid, as though a flute of bone taken from a heron's thigh, a heron crazed by the moon, were cleverly, softly played. Speaking. Who is this who from the crowd has shrunk, as though he had some look that terrified? He has a deathly face, and yet he moves like a young foal that sees the hunt go by and races in the field. A player with the mask of Lazarus has entered. Lazarus. He raised me up. I am the man that died and was raised up. I am called Lazarus. Christ. Seeing that you died, lay in the tomb for 4 days and were raised up, you will not mock me. Lazarus. For 4 whole days I had been dead, and I was lying still in an old, uncomfortable mountain cavern when you came climbing there with a great crowd and dragged me to the light. Christ. I called your name. Lazarus, come out, I said. And you came out, bound up in cloths, your face bound in a cloth. You took my death. Give me your death instead. Christ. I gave you life, but death is what I ask. Alive, I never could escape your love, and when I sickened towards my death, I thought, I'll do the desert, or chuckle in a corner, mere ghost, a solitary thing. I died, and saw no more until I saw you stand in the opening of the tomb. Come out, you called. You dragged me to the light, as boys drag out a rabbit when they have dug its hole away. And now, with all the shouting at your heels, you travel towards the death I am denied. And that is why I have hurried to this road and claimed your death. Christ, but I have conquered death, and all the dead shall be raised up again. What I heard is true. I thought to die when my allotted years ran out again, and that being gone you could not hinder it. But now you will blind with light the solitude that death has made. He will disturb that corner where I thought I might lie safe forever. Christ, I do my Father's will, and not your own. And I was for free 4 days being dead. Climb up to Calvary, but turn your eyes from Lazarus that cannot find a tomb, although he searched all height and depth. Make way for Lazarus that must go search among the desert places where there is nothing but howling wind and solitary birds. He goes out. First musician. The crowd shrinks back from the face that seems death-stricken, and death-hungry still. And now Martha, and those 3 Marys, and the rest that live but in his love are gathered round him. He holds his right arm out, and on his arms their lips are pressed and their tears fall. And now they cast them on the ground, before his dirty blood-dabbled feet, and clean them with their hair. Sings. Take but his love away. Their love becomes a feather, of eagle, swan, or gull, or a drowned heron's feather, tossed hither and thither upon the bitter spray and the moon at the full. Christ, I felt their hair upon my feet a moment, and then they fled away. Why have they fled? Why has the street grown empty of a sudden, as though all fled in terror? Judas, who has just entered. I am Judas, had sold you for the 30 pieces of silver. You were beside me every day, and saw the dead raised up, and blind men given their sight. And all that I have said and taught you have known. Yet you doubt that I am God. I have not doubted. I knew it from the first moment that I saw you. I had no need of miracles to prove it. And yet, you have betrayed me. I have betrayed you because you seemed all-powerful. My Father, even now if I were but to whisper it, would break the world in his miraculous fury to set me free. And is there not one man in the wide world that is not in your power? My Father put all men into my hands. That was the very thought that drove me wild. I could not bear to think you had but to whistle, and I must do. But after that I thought, whatever man betrays him will be free. And life grew bearable again. And now is there a secret left I do not know? Knowing that if a man betrays a god, he is the stronger of the two. But if 'twere the commandment of that God himself, that God were still the stronger. When I planned it, there was no live thing near me but a heron so full of itself that it seemed terrified. But my betrayal was decreed that hour when the foundations of the world were laid. It was decreed that somebody betray you. I'd thought of that, but not that I should do it. I, the man Judas, born on such a day, in such a village, such and such his parents, nor that I'd go with my old coat upon me to the high priest, and chuckle to myself as people chuckle when alone, and do it for 30 pieces and no more, no less, and neither with a nod nor a sent message. But a kiss upon your cheek. I did it. I, Judas, and no other man. And now not even you can save me. Christ. Be gone from me. 3 Roman soldiers have entered. First Roman soldier. He has been chosen to hold up the cross. During what follows, Judas holds up the cross while Christ stands with his arms stretched out upon it. Second Roman soldier. We'll keep the rest away. They are too persistent. They are always wanting something. Third Roman soldier. Die in peace. There is no one here but Judas and ourselves. Christ. And who are you that ask your God for nothing? Third Roman soldier. We are the gamblers. And when you are dead, we'll settle who is to have that cloak of yours by throwing dice. Second Roman soldier. Our dice were carved out of an old sheep's thigh at Ephes. First Roman soldier. Although but one of us can win the cloak, that will not make us quarrel. What does it matter? One day one loses, and the next day wins. Second Roman soldier. Whatever happens is the best, we say, so that it's unexpected. Third Roman soldier. Had you sent a crier through the world, you had not found more comfortable companions for a deathbed than 3 old gamblers that have asked for nothing. First Roman soldier. They say you're good, and that you made the world, but it's no matter. Second Roman soldier. Come now, let us dance the dance of the dice throwers, for maybe he cannot live longer and has not seen it. Third Roman soldier. If he were but the god of dice, he'd know it, but he is not that god. First Roman soldier. One thing is plain. To know that he has nothing that we need must be a comfort to him. Second Roman soldier. In the dance we quarrel for a while, but settle it by throwing dice. And after that, being friends, join hand to hand and wheel about the cross. They dance. Christ. My Father, why hast thou forsaken me? Song for the folding and unfolding of the cloth. First musician. Lonely the sea-bird lies at her rest, blown like a dawn-blending parcel of spray. Upon the wind or follows her prey under a great wave's hollowing crest. Second musician. God has not appeared to the birds. Third musician. The gare eagle has chosen his part in blue deep of the upper air, where one-eyed day can meet his stare. He is content with his savage heart. Second musician. God has not appeared to the birds. First musician. But where have last year's cygnets gone? The lake is empty. Why do they fling white wing out beside white wing? What can a swan need but a swan? Second musician. God has not appeared to the birds. The end. And that is the end of the resurrection and of Calvary. I hope you enjoyed it. Please consider following, subscribing, any sort of thing that your particular social media uses. And I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. And I hope to have you back in Brendan Moir's Playwright Corner. Thank you.